Good morning, all. Nice to see our brokers waiting in the waiting room for so long. Some of you since 9:30, so we do appreciate that. Thank you very much for joining us here this morning at our HIT session. We're just going to leave it for a few seconds, just give a few more of our members a chance to log in that have joined or registered, and then we'll get ourselves started with the introduction, and then we'll introduce our presenter and our lender who will be with us for the next hour. So I hope everybody is well. I hope you're getting some good weather, if not sunshine, at least some warmth, depending on where you're joining us from. So very good. We won't leave it too long, as it is 10 a.m. and that is the time that we did plan to kick off and get started. And I know our time is precious these days, so let's begin. Let's get our session started. You can probably see on your screens there. I'll just go back. If you don't know me, then I'm El Gardner. I'm the broker services manager here at TMA, and we'll be joined by one of our wonderful partners, Mercantile Trust, with this HIT session. And a few reminders before we start. It does say be aware all cameras and microphones are off. Your cameras actually are on for some, so you can choose to switch your cameras on. It hasn't always been an option, but you can do. So just be aware on your own settings if your camera is on, as we can obviously see you, and we want to keep things nice and tidy, as we say. And there's a Q&A at the end. If you've got any questions, and you can put some questions through to our presenter in the chat, and then our presenter will answer them back for you, either now live on the session, or she'll come back to you when we conclude. Any problems technically and you need some support externally, then our contact number is there. The team will do their best to help you out where possible. And of course, your certificates will be sent to you once the session completes to the email address that you used when you registered. So what do we have today? Well, we have Nina, and Nina is head of sales at Mercantile Trust. And Nina will be able to go through all the things about Mercantile that perhaps you didn't know, and give you some tips, etc., in areas that will benefit you and your clients in conversations going forward. But I won't say too much on that because I won't steal any Nina's thunder. So Nina, if you're ready and available, we'll invite you to take the platform, please.
Thank you very much, Earl. Hello and good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. And yes, we have a very sunny day here in Watford today. So that's always a good start to the day. So we just wanted to get together, obviously give you a little insight as to what we're doing, where we are, where we sit in the market, and just reasons why you would want to, or you will be coming to us as brokers with your cases. Okay. So in terms of obviously where we are and where we're sitting, so we are an unregulated buy-to-let and bridging lender based in Watford. Okay, so we are a lender. Our team, we consist of a mix of sales and underwriting. So when I say sales, we come from a broker background at the sales team. And then obviously we have the underwriting team. So it's a good mix of the team. We are a smaller lender in the space that we sit in. Okay, so I'm talking, and I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. So we're in that space where you've got your togethers, your step ones, west ones. We're in that sort of space. That's where we're sitting, but we are a lot smaller than they are. And I guess what I'm sort of mentioning that to you now is because we want to get to a stage where we want to grow, and we need your help to grow. Okay, so hopefully there'll be some bits that we're going to go through today that you just didn't know what we're offering, or you just don't know enough about us. And hopefully that's going to, at the end of this conversation, obviously you'll know a little bit more about what we're all about. Okay, so we are obviously known for our turnaround times on our bridging and buy-to-let. We are very quick, and you'll see when I highlight some of that for you shortly. We pay you 2% of the net loan, and whether that be on a buy-to-let or a bridge, and you can also charge up to 15% of a broker fee on any of our product ranges. Okay. Now, in terms of our background, I think it's quite important for you just to give you an idea of where we are, even though I'm saying we're smaller, but just to give you an idea of where we are. So we're part of the Norfolk Capital Group. So I don't know if you've obviously heard of them, but we're part of the Norfolk Capital Group, and we've been around for 35 years. We've got 6 specialist lending companies. Okay, Two of them are brokerages, one's regulated and one's unregulated. We've got two lenders, which is us, Mercantile Trust, we're the unregulated lender, and then you've probably heard of Central Trust, who is our regulated sister company. We're both in Watford, along with the Loans Engine brokerage. And then on top of that, we've got our unsecured lender, who is unsecured loans for homeowners. And then we have car finance company as well. So quite a lot going on within the group, very successful. So it's just to give you a background that we're just not on our own. We were quite a big sort of group when you put us all together. Okay. Now, in terms of our product ranges then, so for what we're offering, so we'll help you with your first and second charge buy-to-lets, your first and second charge bridging, including auction finance. We do an awful lot of second charge homeowner business loans, which I'm going to come back to you in a moment on. We're doing second charge equitable bridging loans. So, you know, for those portfolio landlords who have got a portfolio with loads of property in them, but they just can't get consent from their first charge lenders or can't release any equity. That's where we can come in with the equitable bridging loans. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about that one as well. It's a very popular product that we do, where we can lend on pretty much, we don't lend on commercial or semi-commercial. I'll put that out there now for you, but we will help you all day long, every day, with your standard buy-to-let, your holiday lets, your HMOs, your multi-units. That's what we're after. That's the space that we're in. That's what we want from you. Okay. And I guess where we stand out across compared to all the others in our space as well, we actually lend all over the UK. So we're talking England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. There's no one else in our space doing the whole of the UK. So I guess for you, it's knowing that you've got coverage all over the country. With our buy-to-let, I'm just going to start on buy-to-let, and it's just some high-level key points here. I didn't want to go in and bombard you with loads of criteria, because I want to, at the end of this, to get in a situation where, as and when you've got anything, that you call in and have a chat with us about it, rather than bombarding you. So these are just the high-level sort of key points that I want to highlight to you. So firstly, we do set lending up to 75% loan to value. That's first and second charge. That's 75% gross. Okay. Our minimum loan starts at £10,000, and I guess that's important for you to know, because of in our space, a lot of our lenders, minimum sort of our competitors, have a minimum sort of loan size a little bit higher than that, around 30k. We're starting at 10k. Combined with the fact that we can go to 75% loan to value, you will find there might be a deal there to be done. So especially them smaller loan sizes, we want them. Everyone else is sort of saying no, and they end up with us, and that's absolutely fine. We want them. We want to help you with them. So please send them over to us. Don't turn those away. We'll take them. Okay. We do capital repayment, or you can have interest only options. And I guess that's important to you to know, because again, in our space, there's some lenders that are only offering capital repayment. So you will have that option for interest only with us as well. Property value, ours is minimum property value is 75k. All right. That is across the board. That's just one area that we don't have any flex on. There's so many other things that you'll be coming to us and we'll be like, okay, yeah, I know the criteria says this, but there's just some things that there's just no flex on, and property value is one of them. So we're at 75,000, but again, a lot lower than a lot of other lenders in our space at the moment. So that, combined with the 75% loan to value, the smaller minimum loan size, is definitely, there will be some opportunity for you to start sending some over for us for those ones. Okay. Now, I wanted to sort of let you know as well. So with our buy-to-let rates, okay. So firstly, we offer the 2-year fixed rate, a 3-year fixed rate, a 5-year fixed rate. And we've also got this 5-year fixed rate that we offer for second charge, first and second charge buy-to-let. The most popular product that we have is the 5-year fixed rate with the no early repayment charges for our second charge buy-to-let product range. Okay. Now, it is a little bit higher than a lot of our competitors. So we're at sort of 11.9%. So yes, it's a little bit high, but please don't be put off with that. And I'm going to give you some reasons or some sort of ammunition as to how you can obviously get your clients comfortable with that when it comes to objections as well. Okay. So with that 5-year fixed rate option, when it comes to second charge, because we are predominantly and have always been predominantly a second charge buy-to-let lender, but since sort of October, November last year, we've been doing a lot more sort of bridging as well. But this, when it comes to second charge buy-to-let, second charge bridging, this still works. Okay. So a lot of the time we get clients or brokers that get in touch. I mean, I get a lot of calls where brokers have got in touch with us and they're sort of looking to, they've been to their first charge lender already. They can't qualify for a further advance, or they've been rejected. And the normal reasons are they've got, too many debts outstanding since they took the original mortgage out and so no longer meet the affordability criteria. They've just gone from employed to self-employed recently, haven't got enough income on the books, or, they've picked up a missed payment in the last 12 months, so can't remortgage for that reason, or, they're just on a nice, low, attractive rate at the moment. For all of those reasons, you don't, why disturb it? Just do a second charge, okay? And that's where we come in. So we're doing the 5-year fixed rate, or that seems to be the most popular option at the moment, the 5-year fixed rate with the no early repayment charges. And what they do, they keep our product for about 12, 18 months, improve their situation so they look a little bit more attractive when the time comes to refinance, knowing that there's no early repayment charges to come out of this, okay? So when the time does come, they can go on to much lower sort of attractive rates, just get them out of the pickle they're in at the moment, all right? So it's almost like an equivalent or an alternative to a bridging loan, but knowing that with the 5-year fixed rate, they know for the next 5 years, their monthly payment would definitely not change, but then knowing that they can exit at any time of that, and they haven't got to keep it for that 5-year lock-in period because of the no ERC option, okay? Just staying on the second charge buy-to-let. So we also do, I'll just go back on this screen, we also do internal legals, okay? So for all of our second charge buy-to-let and all of our second charge bridging, it all goes through on internal legals, so it's free legals. So whether, because we lend to personal name borrowers and to limited company borrowers, okay? For limited company borrowers, it's only really us and probably together at the moment that's only doing sort of second charge buy-to-let or second charge bridging for limited company in our space. But if you, and I'll be upfront, you can go, and this is what scenarios that I get told from brokers all the time that we've been to together, they've got lower rates than us, and we know that. But if it's a limited company applicant or a borrower, together we'll want the customers to pay £800-900 for their legals, or you can come straight to us. We're, yes, going to have a higher rate, a higher second charge rate for it, but we will put that through on internal legals, and you will end up shaving 2 to 3 weeks off your completion time. So that point of view, customers haven't got to dip into their sort of disposable monies, and they don't tend to always have it, especially because our loans tend to be on the smaller side as well. That's where we will definitely be able to help your clients with this, okay? Just staying on legals, we also do internal legals, so free legals for first charges, where it's a refinance or an unencumbered property in England, Wales, and Scotland. Okay, so as long as you can keep the loan under £100,000 and it's a refinance or an unencumbered property, we will put that through for you on internal legals as well, whether that's again personal name or limited company borrower. Okay, so that's where we seem to be winning that business, and that's why the rate is not necessarily going to be too much of an objection for you when you're telling them all these sort of things and ticking those boxes for them. And legals can be expensive, so definitely something that you want to have or be aware of, or keep in your back pocket, so you know that that's where we're going to come into this for you. Okay, so like I say, we do a lot of second charge buy-to-let business. And this is just one scenario or a situation where we pretty much lend for any purpose as long as it's legal, and consolidation seems to be a big one as well. You can use the funds to buy another residential property, home improvement. So, there's loads of scenarios, but I've got to say our most popular top 3 purposes seems to be consolidation, home improvements, and to buy another property. They seem to be the 3 that we seem to do a lot of, okay? And just going back to that first charge unencumbered, under 100K. So we also do a lot of scenarios where, because we do bridging as well, where they want to, they come to us, they want to do auction finance, but what we're actually finding is we actually complete a lot quicker than we would do for auction purchases, especially on those smaller loans under 100K. We would put it on that product where we can do the internal legal process with the combined AVMs. We don't need consent from first charges because it's internal legal. So we actually complete our loans quicker in 3 to 4 days, in some cases, on that product where the loan's under 100K and it's a first charge. Okay, so again, just one for you to note there. or a secret weapon. Now, another one that I mentioned at the start that we do a lot of is the homeowner business loans. Okay, now this is the one that we just seem to be sort of cleaning up on at the moment. So let me just explain this to you, so some of you that may not be familiar with it. So this is where you've got a customer who has their residential home, they have a mortgage on it already, and they want to raise the money for business. Okay, let me just tell you what business is, because again, what we class as business is very different to some of the other lenders in our space. So for us, businesses, they want to buy another buy-to-let property. That's business. They've got a business and they just want to buy some more machinery or cars, perhaps. That's business. Or they want to, they've got a business and they just want to inject some cash flow into it. That's business. They took out a bridge on a commercial property and now they want to pay that off. Business. I said to you at the start, we don't lend for commercial or semi-commercial properties, but that's okay. But if you're doing the mortgage for those and you've got a shortfall in deposit monies, we can certainly help you raise the deposit monies by way of a second charge homeowner business loan. So, in all those scenarios, we can help. And one we did, like, I had a call yesterday for somebody who they've got a shop. They've done the mortgage, they bought the shop, but now they have no money because of money left to get it to a state where it's in a habitable, a condition where they can use. We're just doing them a 50k homeowner business loan just to give them the money to get their shop up and running. So in all of those scenarios, just remember, we can help you with these scenarios. So I said at the start, we're an unregulated lender, so we wouldn't do or normally touch someone's residential home. But because for this purpose, the funds are being used for business, it's a business transaction. That's where we can not get away with it, but that's how we sort of are able to sort of justify that this isn't a business purpose, it's a business transaction. So what we can do for you on these, so we can do it as a second charge term product, or we'll do it as a second charge bridge. Okay, so if you do it as a term product, again, our popular product seems to be that 11.9%, the 5-year fixed rate with the no ERCs, because they don't want to keep it for long. Okay, if someone's residential home, they don't want to keep it long, they just want to get their business up and running or get it to a state where they can start generating some business, and that's where we come into it. Okay, or you can do it as a bridge. Okay, a second charge business bridge. Just before I go on to it, I'll just let you know quickly about the business bridge rates. So on first charge bridging, we're at 0.97%, and for 0.99% for our second charge bridging. Okay, so just giving you that sort of insight gives you an idea that we're well and truly back in the game when it comes to bridging rates firstly. Okay, so you can do the homeowner business loan as a term option, or you can do it as a business bridge. It's only available as a second charge option. You have to have a first charge in place, because otherwise we then start treading into regulated space and we don't want to. The loan for the homeowner business loan will start at 25k, whether it's a term or a bridge. Okay, and we go to 75%. And I guess the positives for you, or the positives for the customer, or when you're speaking to your customer or reselling it to your customers, is that it's a second charge. It's going to be in their personal name because it's their residential home. It will always go through an internal legal, so it's free legals for that. Okay. Our lender fee is 3% across our sort of product range. So, and that will cover us for any lender admin costs and the internal legal process for the legals. Okay. So the customer doesn't need to pay any of that up front. Okay. If you do it as a business bridge, you can roll it, which means that we don't need to actually use any of the client's personal income for affordability, and there's no monthly payments. It is just quick turnaround stuff that we're doing on these homeowner business loan products. Okay. The only difference is, I would say, is when you're doing a second charge buy to let with us, we don't sort of drill down on the source of funds or chase down on what the funds are being used for. We just want a use of funds form completed. However, for the homeowner business loan, we do need evidence of funds. So if they're going to buy another buy to let property, we're going to ask you, well, how far down the line are you? Are the solicitors instructed? Because we release the money to the solicitor, who will then do a simultaneous completion. If they want to inject into their business, we just want a business plan. They're the sort of things that we're looking for, just to evidence in file that it was a business transaction. All right. But any of our products, we wouldn't be drilling down on the source of funds. Okay. So that's pretty much in a nutshell our homeowner business product. So just keep that in mind. So, because it is, like I say, our best-selling product, and it might just be that you just didn't know that we'd offer this product. So I guess I'm going to say to you now is, the next time someone calls you and says, do you do business loans or any sort of asset finance? You just need to ask them the 3 questions, and this will sort of give you that option or the window rather than sort of saying no. And because I do it now, well, are you a homeowner? Have you got a mortgage in place? And has it been running for 6 months? If they answer yes to them 3 questions, there's no reason you can't be talking to us or bringing that deal to us. We want to be helping you with that. Okay. Here's just some scenarios of how we sort of work and when our sort of business loan case studies, these are examples of when they came to us and we were able to help out these clients with the homeowner business loan term or bridge options. Okay. I think Earl will be able to send these over to you, these slides over to you at the end as well. So if I am sort of skipping through the slides, I do apologize. I just want to make sure I get my points across to you, but Earl will certainly be able to send you a copy over of this as well for your records. Okay. Now, for the bridging, so I've already mentioned the rate. So what happened with our bridging? Okay, so at the end of October last year, we reduced our rates for bridging, first and second charge, and it actually got us to a point where by reducing those rates, it put us well and truly back in the market for bridging and rate. Okay, so I'm going to sort of mention it to you again. So our sort of main sort of competitor lender where we are is us and Together, really. So with the rates that we're offering for first charges at 0.97 and second charge at 0.99%. And what we found is, because buy-to-let second, like I said, predominantly we're a buy-to-let second charge, and we've been like this. But with our bridging, since we reduced our rates, our bridging's gone like this, but our second charge buy-to-let is like that. Okay, it's steady, but it's just gone up. Bridging's gone through the roof. And what's happened is because of our loans under £100,000 for first and second charge bridging, we're actually lower than Together on rate. Okay, which meant even if you were a gold or an exclusive, we're still going to be lower than them on the smaller loans under 100k. So we'd like you to start using us for those as well. Obviously, yes, we'd like the bigger loans as well, but anything under 100k, if you are sort of got rate conscious clients, and please just remember that we're there as well now. Okay, so for our bridging, we'll go to 75% loan to value on those as well. Okay, that's first and second charges. Bridging loan starts at 25k, whereas our buy-to-let starts at 10k. For bridging, so we can do first charge bridging up to £1 million, and our second charge is at 500k. All right. Now, we do up to 18-month terms. So a lot of our other lenders in our space are tapping out at 12 months. All right. So we'll go to 18 months. And on top of that, we don't have any exit fee. All right. So a lot of these lenders that have these smaller loan sizes under 100k will have an exit fee. We don't have an exit fee as well. All right. So it should be a bit more attractive when you're sort of presenting that to your clients. Okay. Being a second charge, as I said already previously, second charge bridging all goes through on internal legals, whether it's limited company or personal name borrowers. And those loans under 100k, and bridging is meant to be quick anyway. So especially for those under 100k loan sizes where it's a refinance or an unencumbered property under 100k, we will put that through on internal legals for you. And that's the one where I said that even if it's an auction purchase, if it's a small one under 100k, we will even suggest to you, well, why don't you do it this way? Or we'll help you do it this way as a refinance instead, because it will be a lot quicker than an auction finance purchase. Okay. So hopefully that'll help you as well. And I guess one other point on bridging that I'd just like to make is we're more sort of light to medium space. That's where we're sitting. Okay. We don't want the planning, development, land. We're not into all that. This is where we are. We just need your properties to be watertight and the utilities are connected. Don't really want you sort of reconfiguration of the rooms. As long as, they're watertight. You want to go in and rip out bathroom, kitchens, damp proofing. Now, that's all fine. We'll be comfortable with that because we know it's light to medium. And then because we also know with our bridging, it's always going to be light to medium. That's another reason why we will allow you to do AVMs on our bridging products as well. So again, saving your customers hundreds of pounds in valuation costs as well. All right. Rebridging. Yes, we do rebridging up to 75% loan to value as well. So typical scenarios seem to be that they want to refinance their existing bridge and a little bit of capital raising on top. Absolutely fine, as long as it makes sense. And we you can guarantee that they're definitely going to be able to exit this time around. We are well and truly open to that type of business as well. Okay. And a good one for you to know as well, because again, in our space, we've got lenders for rebridging tapping out at 60 or 65%. So we would love to take that on for you as well. Just give us a call on these, okay? And I know obviously some of you may not even have heard about us, or a little bit out of the loop on what we're actually doing. But we have refreshed, and this is a lot of the business that we're doing is what I'm sort of talking to you about at the moment. All right. And yeah, here's just a typical example of where we've done the under £100,000 refinance on an unencumbered property, straightforward scenario. And like I said, I will get Elle to send this over to you guys as well. So you've just got typical examples, and you can use these case studies for your own sort of marketing that you want to. We've got no issue with that as well, to help you sort of bring in that business for yourselves as well. Right, and this product then is our second charge equitable bridge that we do. So like I said, this is where you've got a landlord, got a portfolio, loads of buy-to-let properties. They're all like got loads of equity in there, low loan to values, but they're all with those first charge lenders that never grant consent to second charges. So, you know, like your TMWs, your Santanders, you're never going to get consent from them type of lenders. So these people they're stuck. They got the equity. They just can't release property money to just go and buy more and more property. And that's all they want to do. So we actually refer to them as landlord prisoners. And what we're able to help them with is we're able to do a second charge bridging loan for them. We can do up to £100,000 only on this particular product. We go to 18 months. Your LTV is capped at 70%. It's only available in England and Wales. It'll go on your 0.99% bridging product. It's the second charge. And because it's a second charge, whether it's personal name or limited company, we put it through on internal legals. We find they have loads of equity. So you can either try the AVM, or we can do drive-bys at 65% loan to value. You don't order consent, so we never need consent from these ones. If you get it through on a drive-by or an AVM, you know, it's going to be quick turnaround. So really, and if you roll it, do it as a rolled bridge, there's no income checks, no monthly payments. So the only documents we're really going to need from you is the customer signed document. So you're talking, what, 2 to 3 days completion for this particular product as well. It is a quick turnaround product that we offer. Okay. And also I would say this is one of our products, the homeowner business loans and the second charge equitable bridging. So obviously we have a loan book that we obviously then for our bridging, they're the two products that we don't actually have any arrears on. So, you know, we're really comfortable with sort of how we're underwriting and the security that we're checking our sort of question from an underwriting point of view. Are we going to get our money back at the end of the day? And these are the ones that we have no arrears on. So I guess that should just give you some comfort as well from a responsible lending point of view, where we're sitting in the market and how we tend to get our money back as well, especially as a clean book. All right. We also, like I said, we don't do commercial or semi-commercial, but we will help you with your holiday lets, your HMOs and your multi-units. So, you know, and this particular slide that I'm talking to you about now is our holiday let product. So we do first and second charges for that as well. And I mean, you know, normally I'd be asking you, well, how many sort of holiday lets products do you come across? And there isn't much, sort of, we don't get much, but it's probably, again, because you don't know that this is what we actually offer. So what I will say, there's some information there for you just to take down. But what I would say is, as and when you get your holiday lets or your HMOs, please just get in touch. Let us talk to you about it, and we'll go through and let you know about it, you know, just while you're getting to know us as well. All right. But there's some information there for you on holiday lets as well. Okay. Property valuation. So, and this is another one. So from a quick sort of speedy turnaround point of view, this is why brokers will come to us. Because of our AVMs that we do up to 75% loan to value on our AVM products. We do allow AVMs up to 75%. We will just ask you to check, obviously, what's the loan size, what confidence levels you're at. But we also do AVMs, or allow you to do AVM on HMO properties. I mean, 6-bedroom HMO seem to be fine. It's anything over 6-bedroom, we seem to sort of struggle or find that AVMs don't really pass on that. And the fact that we also do drive-by valuations. So a lot of, I believe that we are still now the only lender still offering drive-by valuations at 65%. So that might help you as well for your clients from that point of view, where they haven't got that disposable money sitting in the bank you know, to pay for a full internal, you might get a drive-by done for half the cost of a full internal valuation. So that should hopefully help you as well with those as well. On the flats, so there's just some high level sort of information there for you from property valuations. One area I will do want to comment on is flats, okay? So first things first, we need all of our flats to be a minimum of 30 square meter. There's no flex on that, okay? So that's another one. So I don't have any flexibility on that, no matter how much I try, even if it was 29 square meter, I can't, I've got no flexibility on that, okay? So just note that. The lease, so for flats, okay, so we need all of our flats to have 50 years leasehold at the end of term. And that's a good one for you to note, because we've got other lenders in our space who need sort of a minimum of 99 years remaining on the lease. And I guess what happens is we get a lot of sort of valuations because of our rate. We know we're a little bit higher than others. So the deals tend to be placed with other lenders that have got slightly lower rates. But what happens, I get put in front of me regularly, quite often, valuation reports that have been carried out by other sort of lenders in our space. And it's been rejected because the surveyors have been out and the lease has come back. It's got a smaller lease than they need. It might have 97 or 96 years remaining, which means it no longer fits with the original lender. They end up with us. We only need 50 years. So I guess I'm letting you know this point is we do that. We do these smaller leases rather than placing it with other lenders with you know, lower rates. We will obviously help you. You won't need to go and sort of pay for two valuations. Client won't need to pay two lots of valuations. Just get it right first time, because you know now that we're also offering that product as well for lower leases. Okay, we will do pretty much most construction types. So that means if you've got properties that are, I don't know, stone, concrete, or timber framed, you know, a lot of lenders in our space will sort of say that's what they class as non-standard, and they restrict the loan to values at 60 or 65%. We don't. We will do this at 75% loan to value. We would say, you know, when the surveyor goes out to the property, to the road, and as long as they comment that the road, you know, all the houses look the same, they're traditional to the area, we will carry on at 75% loan to value. However, if the surveyor comes back and says, actually, your one stands out like a sore thumb, we just won't do it at all. All right, so it's 75% and we do it, they all look the same, or we just don't do it at all. Okay, but we're not going to come back to you and say, yeah, okay, yeah, yours is stone, but we're only going to do 60 or 65. It doesn't work like that. It's 75% if they all look the same. Okay. So yeah, just key points there on valuation I just wanted to highlight for you today. Okay. So we just already covered off sort of about the borrower. So we lend to borrowers, personal name borrowers, and limited company borrowers. You can have up to 4 applicants. Okay. So, you know, there are other lenders, including us now, that are obviously allowing you to lend to up to 4 applicants. And for limited companies, I guess it's always good to know as well. So a lot of lenders need property related SIC codes, like your STEP ones, your West ones, they all need property related SIC codes. For limited company, we do not. Okay, so that's a good one for you to know as well. We don't have a minimum income rule for existing landlords. Obviously, we just need to make sure from a lending point of view it makes sense, but we don't have a minimum income rule. We just need the client to have at least 6 months mortgage history on one of their properties when it comes to sort of second charge buy-to-let, second charge bridging. And we don't lend to expats or foreign nationals. Okay, but we do need, actually with foreign nationals, we do need all our clients to have 3 years address history in the UK and settled status in the UK, but we won't do any expats at all. Okay. Now, I haven't really sort of touched too much on the buy-to-let first charge of lending, okay, but we do offer the first charge buy-to-let product. And I guess the reason I'm sort of touching on this bit with you now is just because we know where we sit from a rate point of view. You've got your buy-to-let panel, and I've spoken to Elle before as well, so we've got an idea of who's on your first charge buy-to-let panel, or who you've got access to. And yeah, I mean, we're not in your sort of land, bay, lend, invest sort of lender rates, okay? But why we do come in and where we will be able to help you with your first time, with your first charge buy-to-let products, is for your first time landlords, okay? So if you've got a typical example where we do a lot of first charge mortgages, is where you got a son living at home with mum and dad, He's got no rental properties, no home, you know, living with mum and dad, no residential property, wants to buy his first rental property. We can help them ones. And the reason why them ones seem to be a good one for us to help is because these particular clients, they're living at home with mum and dad. They've got no deposit money. They're not putting any money in, no skin into the game. What they do is they take our 5-year fixed rate. They'll keep it for about a year or 2 years. 2 years normally seem to be quite sort of the length of what they take it. They show they're a good mortgage payer in that 2-year period, get a couple of years letting history under their belt, okay, which then allows them to move on and refinance onto much attractive rates with you, you know, your TMWs, your land-based lending best. That's where we come in. That's where we help these guys get on the ladder, because our 5-year fixed rate, remember, has no early repayment charges. That's why it works. Keep it for a couple of years, show they're a good mortgage payer, couple of years letting history under their belt, come off it with no exit fee. That's where we'll help you. All right. So just note that. On the affordability, just really quickly want to run down on the affordability, because this is one where why brokers will come to us and always come to us for our buy-to-let products. So we will put everyone through at 125% ICR rental coverage. Okay. So regardless if you're a higher rate, additional rate, limited company, a HMO, everyone will go through at 125%. Okay. And the fact that we do interest only as well. So you could have a higher rate taxpayer. Other lenders might put them through 140 or 145% ICR. We will put that higher rate tax for rate payer through 125%. Combined with the fact that we do interest only, you might find there might be a deal there to be done with us. Okay. With the affordability, okay, this calculation that I'm just going to run through with you, if you don't remember anything else that I've gone through with you today, if you could just remember this scenario that I'm talking to you about, this is one where brokers will come to us. So let's say you've got a buy-to-let property, you're trying to do a second charge on the buy-to-let property. The rent on the property is £1,000. The rent mortgage payment is £900. There's not much there for us to play with. There's not much of a rental yield, okay? But if your client's got 4 or 5 other buy-to-lets in the background, and let's say one of those properties has got a rent of £1,500 and a mortgage payment of £1,000, you take that £500 from there and you could add it to this £1,000 that I'm using on this second charge. You can keep topping up with the net profit from the other rental properties. You keep putting it into our calculator, into our buy-to-let calculator, and once it goes green, that means it passes. So we're only securing on this property. I'm not touching these ones from a security point of view. We're securing the second charge on this property, just using the top up from those from an affordability point of view. In that scenario, all we're going to ask you for is the tenancy agreement for any rental property we're using and the filtered bank statement showing the rent coming in. We don't need any SA 302s, any tax calculations, because we're not using any personal income. And we find that landlords tend to have a folder with all their ASTs in it. It's so easy for them to go online and get a download a filtered bank statement showing the rent coming in. So again, from a quick turnaround, you know, it's easy turnaround stuff that we're able to do for your clients, okay? So that seems to be working, and a lot of brokers will come to us just for that. So that on the second charge buy-to-let basis, not using any personal income, using top up from other rentals. It's a 5-year fixed rate with no ERCs. They pass on an AVM. Internal legals, whether it's personal name or limited company, it is just ticking a lot of boxes for a lot of clients. So hopefully there'll be some clients that we can help with yours as well. Okay. We do use personal income, so I'm not saying that we won't use it. We will use personal income as well if you needed to, from an affordability or to top up on income. Absolutely fine. But again, where I'm going to say to you that we stand out compared to a lot of others in our space is we won't go drilling down on a full affordability income expenditures. Okay. We're not asking you what's your food, what's your gas, what's your electrics. We don't ask you any of those questions. Okay. We're going to be asking you just 3 simple questions. What's your total monthly outgoing on your credit cards each month, on your loans each month, and your children's like childcare fees? They're the 3 questions we're asking you. So you don't need to be sending us your full expenditures. And then on the other side of it, if you don't need to use any personal income and you can get it to fit on that rental income scenario with the top up, we're not even going to be asking you what's your credit cards, loans, monthly payments. All right. So I just want you to know it's just a clean, straightforward, speedy point of view that we're able to come in and step in and help you with these clients. Okay. Yeah, and like, I guess lastly around the credit profile. So I've just listed on here some of the reasons, obviously, around our sort of credit profile where you will be coming to us. Again, I will get Elle to send this over to you, but what I just want to highlight for you is, rather than going through all of it with you, is if you've got a customer, so we allow 2 status points, okay? Whether that be a mortgage and a credit card, absolutely, that's fine. But we allow a maximum of 2 status points, okay? So and the scenario that we come across are where we end up saving deals, okay, where others might have rejected them, or where you just come and said, oh, I've got this credit search, can you have a look at it? Absolutely, send over your credit reports, we'll have a look at them. If you've got a scenario where, I don't know, you're doing your fact find with your client, and you spot that they've got a missed payment on their credit report, okay, on a mortgage. So they've missed a mortgage payment in the last 12 months, because we allow one missed mortgage payment in the last 12 months. Let's say you're then probing them and asking them, well, why did you miss that payment? You use your fact find questions. And they actually turn around and said to you, well, actually, it wasn't missed, it was late, okay? So let's say it was due on the 2nd and they made it up on the 28th. If they can evidence that it was actually made up and it wasn't a missed payment, we wouldn't actually count that as a unit, okay? So we could actually help you end up saving something there, or getting it on a bit more of an attractive rate, okay? So just that, we can't put that in any sourcing systems. This is just old school underwriting, okay? And because we're a lot smaller, like I said at the start, to a lot of these other lenders in our space, you haven't got to wait 2-3 days, for us to get into a boardroom with our CEOs and underwriting managers. We can sort of walk over to our CEO and sort of get these sort of decisions agreed and okayed for you same day. All right. So, and like I said, we can't put it into sourcing systems. I mean, we use sort of 27 Tech. We're in a lot of these sourcing systems now, and 27 Tech we've just recently joined up with. So if you are, you should sort of start seeing us in those, and a number of others that we've sort of signed up with recently. All right. Now, the process, okay. So we've got 2 processes, okay. So one could be that you have got a scenario, you give us a call, we'll run through the deal with you, get a feel for the deal with you, help you with the calculators, give you some heads of terms. You go away, discuss those heads of terms with your customer. If your customer wants to go ahead, we'll give you login details, and you'll be able to load the case into our portal, generate the documents, get them back to us. Once we get the signed forms back from you, we give you a shopping list, and you go away and chase them down and get it in. Okay, that's the first scenario. Okay. Second scenario is we offer a packaged completion service. Okay, so this is where same scenario, you can ring up, we'll give you, go through, get a feel for the deal with you together, we'll give you the heads of terms, and a blank application form. You go and speak to your customer about it. If your customer wants to go and they're keen to move forward, you just need to return to us that signed application form. We will then take over. So we will then speak to your customer directly. We'll go through and, order the AVMs, the land regs, the credit searches, help with the solicitors. We do it all for you and keep you in the loop throughout. Okay. So there are our 2 scenarios. So that's the package service, where we've got the 3% lender fee and the £999 package service fees. It's added to our lender fee, so I don't have to pay it up front. It's just built into the loan, spread over the term of the loan. Or you can opt for the first option that I mentioned. But with that one, you will need to do everything. You'll order all your land registries, your ABMs, and consents as necessary. Now, what I would suggest is, while you're getting to know us and while we're getting to know you, if it is your first time you're going to be using us, opt for the 999 package completion service. Let us take over for you. We keep you in the loop, and like, we all get to know each other, and you get a good understanding of how we work as a lender. Or if you're comfortable and you want to crack on and do it, the way you want to do it and take over, absolutely fine. We've got no issue with that. You just need to let us know what you want to do, and we'll help you either way. And then what we also find is, if you've got, especially your smaller ones, I don't know, let's say your loan's under 100K, you might just want to hand them all over to us and we'll do them for you while you can focus on your bigger ones or those clients that you've got more of a built up reputation and relationship with. Absolutely fine. Just let us know and you can pick and choose which ones you want to do, or if it's something that you're not comfortable doing. You might even have an IRA customer that you just want to hand over so you can focus on your other cases. Again, this is all okay for us. We'll take over from you, not a problem. You just need to let us know what you want to do, but we will still pay you the same. We give you 2% regardless whether you put it through on packaged or whether you put it through the other way and you just want to do it yourself. Absolutely fine. Okay. So we're coming to the end, okay, of and I'm conscious that obviously we want to have a little chat after as well, hopefully with some of you. So here's just our high level key points that I just wanted to, in a nutshell, bring to you, okay. But what I will say, one area where I feel that we've been picking up a lot more business from just this particular slide that we're looking at is if you, like I said, we're an unregulated lender, as I mentioned at the beginning and a few times. If you've got a customer, you've got a buy-to-let property and you found out that the tenant is, an uncle living in the property, yeah, you're going to be looking at thinking, okay, it's a family member. We're going to class that as CBTL, or lenders will class that as CBTL, consumer buy-to-let. We wouldn't, okay? And the reason we wouldn't, so you've got a buy-to-let property, you've got uncle living in it, but the clients have never lived in it, but uncle lives in it. We're okay with that because the uncle is what we call a distant family member. So as long as the tenant, the property, the rental property is not occupied by mum, dad, siblings, grandparents, grandkids, we're okay. So if it's an uncle or a cousin or, I don't know, ex-daughter-in-law, as long as there's like an AST in place and the money's going into the bank, we will take those on as unregulated transactions, okay? And they seem to work well as well. So you wouldn't necessarily need to pass that out to a regulated CBTL lender who's going to do a full affordability check on those ones, okay? If it fits on the rental, we class that as self-funding. So again, Earl's got the regulated and non-regulated flow chart for us. It is different to other lenders. So I guess I'm just saying, don't box us in with other lenders. We are a little bit different and we are doing our own bits. And that's where I think you're going to be sort of coming to us for those sort of things. All right. Yeah, and that's in a nutshell. But this is us. This is my team. That's my contact details. So you've got us that you can always come to us, the three of us, if you have anything. I have a mobile number that you can reach me on. Then you've got Vicky and Ahmed, who are also office based. And the three of us come from a broker background, okay? And I mentioned that at the beginning, and I'm just going to highlight that again. So we've all come from a broker background. So we've all worked with brokers in the past. I've worked with brokers for 20 plus years, and that is all I've ever known and all I've ever done. And the three of us combined, we know what brokers want, how they think, how they expect deals to be referred. And that's partly the reason why we were brought into Mercantile Trust over the sort of last couple of years. Because we are here to push the boundaries when it comes to criteria and helping as a lender to grow. And that's, like I said at the start, we just need your help. We want to grow, and we want you to help us grow. And that's where I think we can work together with our two scenarios that we've got around packaged, or whether you don't want to package it. We're not going to leave you just in the lurch. And because we're a lot smaller, we will give you that additional attention where, like I said, other lenders probably can't because of the scale as what they are. But please, just if you have any questions, or you just want to ask us something, or if you think it's not something we're going to do, always just get in touch. But there's all our details, and you can reach any one of us, and we will certainly like to help. All right, or go through Earl's team at the mortgage desk. Absolutely. And Earl and the team have been great, and they've got all our details as well. So they know where we are, where we're sitting. And yeah, that's where we are really. So if you have anything or anything, just get in touch, and I will pass back to you if that's okay.
I think we could have kept you going for a bit more there, Nina. Very, very informative, really good, very comprehensive. And yeah, that last slide there is pertinent. So if you have got any questions, I did put a reminder in the chat, but none have come through yet. So if you do have any questions today, you can still have a chance to pop them into the chat now, or you can, as Nina's just said, get in touch with my team on the broker support desk, or if a conversation needs to be had, Nina, is it directly to any of you guys on the last slide that you just showed there, or is it
Yeah, they
regional,
can.
or what do you think?
100%. You can come directly to me. My number was there, and my mobile number was on that one as well. And then also you've got Vicky and Ahmed, who are office based, and they are at our mortgage desk as well, a bit like yours, El.
Yep.
Mine's better than yours.
Oh, okay. Shall we start a
No,
poll
no,
for
no,
that? Let's
no,
see
no.
what the. I'm only playing.
No, no, no. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, so look, yeah, either one of us free, and we all do the same thing. We've all got the same, like I said, backgrounds, and it's that whole broker mentality, and that's where we're going to be different, or the service you get from us is going to be a little bit different to some of the
Yeah.
others in the bigger sort of space that we're in. Yeah.
That's it. Well, for sure, you've given our brokers a lot of food for thought there, and as we've seen, there's a lot of reasons to have a conversation with Mercantile. There's so many different key things that you do, and I'm sure our members were jotting down some things that were relevant to them and clients that they have. So if you do have any cases on your desk now, and there's an immediate conversation, get in touch. Please do. And as Nina alluded to, we can share the slides with you as well after our session today. And it was also recorded, so it will be placed on TMA Vision, our YouTube channel. So if you wanted to watch that back, we'll let you know when that becomes available as well. So all in attendance, and if you've got any of your team members that would benefit from watching, and of course they can also watch it as well. And if they do view it, let us know, and then we can send you a CPD certificate for anybody who has viewed it later as well. But no, really, really good, Nina. Thank you so much. Again,
No,
good
thank you for
reminders to
setting.
ourselves.
Yeah, thank you for setting it up and
Yep,
making it work today. I'll really appreciate that.
me too.
And yeah, happy and waiting. And when the guys are ready or brokers are ready, please do get in touch. We're waiting for you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can log on to our, or visit, not even log on, visit our website. The events page will give you a list of all the upcoming events. So we've got more sessions taking place as well over the next few weeks and months, virtual HIIT sessions. We've got face-to-face workshops as well. So please familiarize yourself with all of the events that TMA are putting on. They're all free of charge. They're all for you, and you make them work. So without you in attendance, really, then our events would not work. So we really appreciate you giving us your time. And we thank you. So I won't say anything more than that. Until next time, Nina, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our members for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.
Bye, bye, bye.